Hey squad, Sykes here and welcome back to another Sea of Thieves video here on InstallationX. And today I'm going to be breaking down everything that Rare have recently announced in the Sea of Thieves 2022 preview, which is they did a little bit of a half an hour, 25-minute video this week. And basically they've kind of explained how Sea of Thieves is going to evolve moving forward, some of the changes we can expect to come over the next few months and across this whole year. And there are some quite drastic changes that are coming to the game, so without further ado, let's get into them. So I guess we have to start with the big news, and that is that Arena is dead. That's right, Arena is being completely closed down by Rare in Sea of Thieves, and basically the justification behind this was the fact that only 2% of playtime is currently being conducted in Arena mode, the other 98% is in Adventure mode. And Rare just don't really see a path forward for Arena with the dev time, the number of personnel, the Q&A time and all this kind of stuff that is being used for Arena mode. They just feel it's more beneficial to move everyone over to Adventure and really flesh out that experience, which makes a lot of sense. It just sadly feels like a bit of a missed opportunity. I remember when I first jumped into Arena and it was amazing. It was really good fun. And then they kind of tinkered and tweaked things around, and over time, as the adventure experience became far more fleshed out and diverse, people were just converting back to adventure. And yeah, so it is a little sad, but I kind of completely understand where they're going with this. There is a dedicated article over on seaofthieves.com, which I'll link in the description, which basically runs down all of the technical aspects of it. There's going to be lots of cosmetic giveaways, and if depending on whether you've hit certain ranks or not, will depend on what you get. And there is still time for you to go and work on commendations, I believe, because the Arena mode won't shut down until the 10th of March, so you've still got plenty of time. But yeah, that was the real big kind of downer news about this, but there are still lots of good things to look towards. So basically, the overarching theme of 2022 for Sea of Thieves is going to be that there are going to be new storytelling mechanics within the game, and they are going to affect the world, and it's going to feel far more lived in. There's going to be more meaningful interactions with characters that already exist within the game. And the aim is to make the world feel more malleable depending on player choices and how the story progresses. So instead of having kind of closed off voyages like the Tall Tales were, there is going to be an overarching narrative across the whole of adventure mode that is going to change shape and take different forms as we move through the year. Now those two different forms are in the form of adventures and mysteries. So adventures are basically going to work as live action events, which are going to be narrative based and narrative driven. So each adventure is going to last about 2 weeks. There will be one every month, which meaning there will be 3 adventures in total in every season, and they will play a more connected role to a kind of grander story that we're going to see play out across the whole year and into the future. There are plans for a finale adventure at the end of each season, so we kind of, I guess the adventure 3 would be the kind of big crescendo, and each new adventure is going to come with a cinematic trailer, which is something we've seen in the kind of announcements of things before, but we haven't necessarily seen cinematic trailers in the game before, so that's exciting. I'm really curious to see how this is going to play out. You know, instantly they showed off Golden Sands. So Golden Sands Outpost is going to be the epicenter of the first adventure in Season 6. And it's essentially, there's been a battle and it's been destroyed. And all the residents of Golden Sands have kind of fled the area. And you have to kind of piece together what's actually happened and why it's happened. So I'm really looking forward to this now more kind of live update of the map every couple of months. A bit like to what Fortnite did when they had their big events and they would change the whole look of the map. I'm kind of liking the idea of that being in Sea of Thieves. My one concern with this though is like it is asking potentially quite a significant time commitment. Like you have to jump in every time to experience the story, and if there are circumstances where you can't jump into the game, then you're obviously going to miss out on parts of the story. And I'm a bit worried about replay factor here, because what's quite nice about the Tall Tales is you can kind of work at them at your own leisure, and if you wanted to smash through the entire Shores of Gold storyline with all the 9 Tall Tales in one go, you can. Or same with the Pirate's Life, all 5 of them you can. But if you want to take it piece by piece, then you can do that as well. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do in terms of backdating the story, so that if people aren't able to get into the game, or if we want to recap things, how is that going to work? So, but generally, I'm very much looking forward to this. The other thing that I guess is a bit more shrouded in mystery is the mysteries. And they're basically going to take more of a longer term story that will evolve over the whole year. So we're going to have a mystery conduct itself across the entire year, and this is going to involve interaction from the community and from players both in and out of the game. That's the really bit I'm curious about. There's going to be decisions by the community are going to shape the story, and they're going to shape the changes to the world. So depending on which path the community votes on will determine the path of which the mystery goes down. The first mystery itself is going to be a murder mystery of a well-known character, apparently. My money on this is it being Duke. We haven't seen Duke for quite a while, and this is probably why. Someone's probably, killed him. Big sad. I'm really curious about how they're going to embed this community interaction and how much of it is going to help or hinder the progress of the story, because what Rare has said is, depending on how quickly the community are getting through the story or getting through the mystery, they can move it at that pace to keep up with the community. But what I'm really curious about is, well, does that mean if we're not too careful, we're going to get through a whole mystery in less than the year? Like, how is this going to work? But I guess that's kind of the cool thing, is we don't really know. That's why it's a mystery. But there's going to be a longer play narrative here that is going to be harder to progress through, because it's going to take a bit more effort. But again, I'm very curious about how that's going to work. So I'm very much looking forward to these new storytelling mechanics. The other things that we're going to see is we're going to see some new gameplay features as well. Now, we haven't got loads of details on the rest of Season 7, 8 and 9 yet. We've only got the main details on Season 6. But Season 6 is going to arrive with sea forts. Now, these are a different variant of forts. There are 3 themes. So we have prison forts in the wilds, we have more overgrown forts in the ancient isles, and we have the traditional Spanish forts in the shores of plenty. And these forts are very much focused on fighting phantoms and sea fort captains. What I'm curious about with this is they made a mention about how it's slightly different and more individualized compared to a skeleton fort, but they were kind of making it sound like you could rock up to a sea fort and no one else is really going to bother you as much. I'm curious about how that's going to work, because ultimately if a sea fort's there and you know that a crew's working on it, what's stopping a crew, rolling up on you and kind of you fighting for the fort? So I'm intrigued to see how that plays out. But these look aesthetically awesome. I really like the art design, and it's really nice to see something more modern in a way compared to what we've seen in the kind of ransacked, shipwrecked, kind of cabins and stuff that we've seen in the world so far. There is a story narrative behind this, so it seems like the veil between the Sea of Thieves and the Sea of the Damned is fracturing or splintering in some way, which means these sea forts have come across from the Sea of the Damned, a little bit like how we've seen them in the Pirates of the Caribbean tall tales. So that's why they're there. So there will be a narrative reason and purpose as to why they're there, which we're going to find out as we progress through the adventures. The other big thing that's going to come this year is we're going to get new Pirate Legend voyages. Hallelujah. Because I'm all up for Athenas and all up for grinding Thieves Haven runs, but we do need something new for Pirate Legends stuff. It's been long overdue. And basically, these are going to be kind of more themed voyages that are going to link into the adventures. So the Pirate Legends are going to have a very specific role as the community leaders in a way to progress the story in certain aspects. So I guess it gives you more motivation that when you get to Pirate Legend, you're going to have more things to do and more ways to progress. So that looks really neat as well. We also got some smaller snippets at what we can expect from Season 7, 8 and 9. So Season 7 is going to be launching in June 2022, and the main feature of that is a new way to play and progress, where we'll get 3 new adventures, the ongoing mystery, plus your Emporium, your Plunder Pass, and your Community Day updates. Season 8 will be launching in September 2022 with an expanded roleplay and quest types, again, 3 more adventures and mysteries. And then finally, Season 9 will launch in December 2022 with new social options for crews, 3 new adventures, ongoing mysteries, and then again, your usual updates. Well, squad, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please make sure you leave a like, you head over to InstallationX and subscribe, and you hit that bell for notifications for future uploads. Let me know your thoughts on everything that's going to come to Sea of Thieves in 2022 in the comment section. Follow myself and the channel on social media with links in the description. And as always, I'm Sykes, and for more on Sea of Thieves and all things Xbox, stay tuned to InstallationX. Bye, guys.